Oh, welcome back to the Huddersfield View. And what a game, Mark. We've got to start. We've got to start with this game at St. Mary's. We're also going to ask you about the Hull game this weekend. We're also going to talk about Harrott and his ban and Ruffles out for the season and just how good is Kasumu. So let's start with the crazy game at St. Mary's. You were there. What was your take, first of all, on the first half?
Oh, it was fab, wasn't it? As a football fan, you just sat there going, brilliant. We could have been better having 3 goals because you just know 2-0
You
in
still would have
football
lost.
is a disaster. It's like the score where people lose is 2-0. It's ridiculous. But what can I say? Tactics. Said it for ages, and I keep saying it all along. Worthington has got a team ticking, and they're playing for him. And like I said, anybody who knows what Town's about is Jonathan Worthington, and he seems to have got him doing something, which is good.
Yeah, I'm going to challenge you at the end of this video to give me a yes or no whether he should get it permanently, which you can reflect on for a second. But from a neutral, there's loads of teams that have gone to Southampton, parked the bus, got beaten, come home and said, "Oh, well, it's Southampton." But it was a brave effort, wasn't it, to take on a team that haven't lost in nearly 4.5 months, take them the distance. Okay, yeah, you've still got the same result, but do you know what? It's so refreshing that you had a go. What do you think this is going to be the way forward now? Do you think that there's been some sort of impetus in saying, well, do you know what? If we're going to get beat, we may as well get beat 5-4 and make it entertaining, and let's try.
Yeah, one of the tweets I put out straight after was saying, "Is it better to lose 5-3 in an attacking 5-3, or lose a defensive 2-0?" And quite a lot of people saying, actually, no, the attacking 5-3 is good. Quite a lot of people turned around and went, how on earth have Southampton not been beaten already this season by other teams? Because to concede 3, it's annoying. To concede 3 goals at home is rubbish anyway, but to score 3 goals away from home and not get a point or win the game, again, it's just awkward. You want to put that down to tactics? I mean, you were trying to make 2 or 3 subs at the time when we scored the 3rd goal, which would have helped realign the game a bit, but just all you want as a footy fan is to do something. And if we'd have gone down there and lost 2-0, which would have been the same result, you'd have been sat there going, oh God, this is terrible. You know, even Southampton fans were like, brilliant. You know, best teams come down to St. Mary's. You put us on back foot. You did something. I mean, their 2nd goal was a screamer, wasn't it?
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. And then we get back in lead, and I wouldn't say it was tactics. I'd say it's possibly substitutions. When they made their subs, they were bang up to game speed, and it took us a while. And we don't have their caliber of subs at the moment. So,
I can't remember a game where 5 goals have been scored by substitutions. You know, in the second half of a game, it's just unreal. All right then. So, I mean, Southampton boards have been full of praise for Huddersfield, saying one of the best teams we've played there, and there's no way Huddersfield are going down. Do you share that view now? I mean, you asked this last week, but obviously we're a further game on now. 2 more games this week as well. Do you have a sense in your belly that you're going to be all right?
I think so. Especially when you're looking at other teams who have just dropped like stones. You know, we've had a bad start to the season, but we've had horrendous injuries. And it kind of came back and bit us on bum by not having Helic. I think 2 of those goals that scored if Helic's in the team. But I feel like we're on an upward trajectory. We've got everything to fight for.
Yeah.
And we're feeling like we're getting something out of it. To go down to Southampton to score 3 goals against Southampton. You know, we've scored 4 against them all this season. And I think their average is just over 1 a game. You know, so we can take it to the big teams. And now it's like, do we battle? And, you know, you got Sunderland tomorrow. No, Wednesday, sorry. And we got Hull. It's like, actually, you know, we've beaten Sunderland already this season. And we got a really unlucky loss against Hull. Yeah, fair enough, we defended for 70 hours. But, hey, you know, it's kind of one of them things. So it's like, can we take it to teams? And I think if we were playing somebody who weren't Southampton at weekend, we win that 3-0.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about Hull in a second. Let's just go on to some other Huddersfield news then, and before we talk about managers. Harriet's been given a 4 month ban for betting. What's the Terry's talk on this?
How can your league be sponsored by betting people? Every single television advert you see at a match day is betting. Everything like that around it is about gambling. I watched 2 games last night on TV. As soon as games started, as soon as games finished with betting, there's advertising boardings going around betting and stuff. Guy's 21-year-old. He's already been done for one thing, which was in public eye a couple of months ago. But I'm like, actually, there's got to be education. There's quite a lot of people out there getting done with gambling, and it's kind of like, how can you be sponsored by everything? It's like being in a pub as a landlord. Well, I've got a drinking problem. Oh, well, you work in a pub. Yeah, it's that kind of thing, and it's about educating youngsters not to go out and do that. But these guys are bored, and there's no real story around it. Nothing's come out about what kind of betting it was. We just know it's betting, and it's against the rules. And whether he's got his cousin to do it or he's done it himself, we're not sure. But it's really stupid. He's a kid, but end of the day, you're a professional footballer. You'll have somebody coming in at the start of the season saying, these are the rules, these are regulations, follow it to the T. And I bet you're going to have 24 people on here tonight, and I bet that at least 25 to 50% of them will have gambling on the shirt.
Yeah,
it's a pandemic itself, and I can't wait until it's banned.
Okay,
I can't wait until there's nothing to do with betting anymore on football. It'd be great.
All right, sensible comments. Yeah, and obviously, we won't want to praise him too much, but obviously, he's a young lad who will learn from it. Another news then, Ruffles, another defender, another injury, out for the season, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, to be honest, he'd already been out for 2 or 3 months, maybe even longer. So I think it was just an injury, what wasn't settling, what wasn't getting any better. And every time he came back into training, there was another issue with it. Which is a shame, because under Warnock, he came really good last season, scored a couple of important goals for us. And it's just a shame that our main left back and our main right back are both out now for the rest of the season because of injuries. What I picked up, I think he picked up a silly yellow carded injury, someone yellow, and it was kind of like one of them where actually it'd be a blue card. You know what I mean? And it's put him out. And I think I've got a really personal point of view on this. If you injure somebody and they're out for an extended period of time, you should have a proper ban. You shouldn't just have a yellow card. You should be like, right, you put someone out consistently for 2 months, you're missing a month.
Yeah.
And that's where you stop cheating. That's where you stop trying to get dirty fouls. And it does my head in, to be honest.
Okay. All right, then. So manager update then. So Michael Duff, rumour has it, has said that he's not going to move to Huddersfield. And that's
don't blame him.
I didn't want to say it. Okay.
Yeah. There's some nice areas.
Right. Okay. What's the nicest area to live in Huddersfield? Point it out for Michael Duff.
Almondbury is all right.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Right. If you live in Almondbury, put a comment below and tell Michael Duff what the average house price is, what he can look forward to, because apparently he doesn't want to move to Huddersfield. Now, Swansea fans will tell you that this is one of the reasons that they didn't connect to Swansea fans, because he didn't want to move to Swansea. I don't actually know where he lives, but it must be pretty good. He doesn't want to move in. So, of course, that hasn't gone down well with management. These are all obviously speculation and rumours. Should the club just give it to Warburton for the end of the season?
So, on about managers, when Wagner were manager, they literally gave him a house and said, here is a house. We have a house for our manager. Live in it. We have done the long distance relationship before with Powell, and he kind of came up and did 2 training sessions a week and then went back down south, and then our form were horrendous. So the long distance thing doesn't work. Johnny Worthington has got the team playing. The problem is that he's got a longer term plan with Kevin Nagel about getting the academy up and running, and quite a lot of people on the bench at the moment are really good academy players who he knows really well. Who he can, while we're getting through the injuries. If he becomes manager and is sacked after 6 months, how can he then go back to the job which we were doing so well? So I think, keep him until something comes up, bring the manager in, but ultimately say, you are just covering. There's no animosity. If we get relegated, we go down. If we don't, we stay up. It's great. You'll go back to that job. The problem is when you bring somebody in and say, like we did last year, basically Carlos Corberán left, Danny Schofield went, oh, brilliant, I like job. And then he lost his other job because he just stepped up.
Yep.
So it's awkward. He's got the team playing, he's got the team doing, but I like what he's already doing with the B team and the under-21s. I think that's the vital part of his role, and he's stepping in where he needs to, and fair play to him, but I think he's already said he don't want to be long-term manager because of his plans and stuff like that. So, but you don't want a duffer in. You don't want somebody who's going to come in and go, "Oh no, it's not for me after 3 months." You've got to whoever it is needs to go with his long-term plan, and Town needs to get this right. Cartwright's got to get this right because if he don't, it's his neck on block as well, really, isn't it?
All right, give us a quick Hull prediction then. Hull aren't playing very well at the moment, so this could be a nice tie to play in this weekend. Score prediction?
I think we're on a really good roll. Whether we're not winning the games, I think that we've got some togetherness, and I think this is our second game under Worthington, and after the first game, it was brilliant. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for us because I just think we're on that upward trajectory at the moment. And Hull have made a lot of... It's okay making loads of good signings, but are those good signings able to blend and fit in? As soon as possible.
They've signed some luxury players, haven't they? But they're just not playing luxury football. And finally, then, just a word on Kasumu, who I've really, really, really rate. Couple of goals already. How have you rated his performances?
I think he's great. I think he's really good. We got him last season from League One. Same with Jack Redoni, and I think we've both really settled into Championship football. My only kind of concern with Kasumu is it does like a sliding tackle.
I love that.
And he's pulled himself up on injuries a few times. But like anything else, it's that thing. If you take the sliding tackle out of his game, does it stop everything else? So it's been fantastic. Quite a lot of players like him. And you know what? He's fast becoming a first team regular. So it's just the injury kind of aspect because he can pull up pretty quick once you don't get his tackles right.
Okay. All right. Well, it's Valentine's week, so just thank you to Huddersfield for making us fall back in love with the Championship bottom race run because you made it really interesting. You and QPR have really, really putting the frighteners up a lot of teams at the moment. So
yeah, it's great. So I'll be there with my wife on Valentine's Day. Yeah, she'll love it. A day out in
Huddersfield, Sunderland. Yeah, great. All right, have a great Valentine's Day then, Mark. And we'll catch you next week. All right, cheers.
Yeah, thank you. Cheers.